I want to start off with some exciting news. Not the thing that's written down, some other exciting news.
Okay.
A bitch is untethered. I fixed it.
Yeah.
I finally fixed my Bluetooth headset connection issues. I am a free woman.
It's been like months.
It's been a long ass time. I sat down and Googled the problem and then went through every single possible fix until one of them worked. It took a hot minute, but we did it.
There. Where you just do all the things that Google says and like nothing works and nothing works and then finally you're
Yep.
like, wait, is it really working?
Yeah, it felt very good. I was very excited. So that's the first bit of exciting news that I have for us today. The second bit of exciting news that nearly made me chuck my phone into the canal at 9 a.m. on a Wednesday morning out of just sheer excitement. Um, we know the release date for the Ghost movie.
Okay. Which
Theatrical
is?
release, which is June 20th and 22nd.
Oh, that's soon.
Soon. Also, kind of odd that the 21st isn't part of that, but whatever.
Oh yeah.
Um, and in addition to the release date, we have the title. It's called Right Here, Right Now, which right spelled RITE, as in like satanic rites. And Right Here, Right Now also being a fun reference to the song Square Hammer, so much to think about. Trailer drops May 9th, and we are getting a soundtrack for the movie, so a live album from the LA shows. So exciting things are happening. So those are my bits of news. What's up with you, friend?
I have a complaint to register with
Okay.
society.
I was about to say, is this a complaint for me personally?
No. As you are aware, and as I've probably said multiple times on this podcast, I have a weird obsession with pink sauce.
Yes.
I don't know why. I just one day saw it and I was like, you know what? That's weird. And I like trying weird things, you know. And to
As
my
one does.
surprise, I loved it, you know? I was like, man, I put it on all kinds of stuff. And I went to get more of it the other day and it wasn't there on the shelf anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And so I Googled it, like, is this not a thing? Apparently, it is universally despised by people, except for me.
I tried
Like,
it and I liked it. What the hell?
yeah, no, there was nothing but pure venom online for the pink sauce. Like people just making fun of like the colors are inconsistent and it tastes like ranch dressing with, extra spice or, not even close.
I don't know about that.
And everything I saw online was negative. And
Huh.
somebody had posted a picture of like the clearance section at Walmart with a bunch of bottles of it marked on clearance. And so
Interesting. I didn't know there was such hate for the pink sauce.
I did not either, but it is because of these people, again, society, that I can no longer have pig sauce.
I'm very sorry.
I need you to understand the level of my despair because
No, I know. I've witnessed you put it on literally everything. I do.
like
I get it.
it's like removing an entire food group. I don't know how I'm supposed to adjust to this.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that is ass.
So
That
I
does
am
suck.
I am so upset. I had no idea. Like I figured it wasn't for everybody, sweet and spicy
Yeah.
sauce like that. But like and people were so mad that it was pink. They were like, "Oh, it's just a novelty thing." And it's like, "No, it's pink because of the dragon fruit, which is what makes it sweet."
Yeah, it's
Like, it's not like added food coloring.
okay.
It's part of the sauce, you
I
know?
do. Sometimes people say things that make me wonder.
Yeah. And so I'm very upset. I guess
Valid.
what's left for me to do is try to find bottles of it on clearance at Walmart and buy as many as I can. Hopefully I can consume them before the shelf life.
Or
But
start making your own.
I've thought of course I thought that way. But it's like a special recipe by Chef Pie. Like it's like a specific thing.
Mm. So
Um,
it's not publicly available.
no, and from my understanding, it's also like there's a lot of stuff in it.
Oh, big sad.
Yeah. I mean, that's why it was such a thing, is because this famous chef on TikTok and Instagram made it
Yeah,
and
you
was
told me
like,
about that.
and so yeah, it's like her proprietary sauce.
Fascinating. Well, I'm very sorry for your loss, bestie.
Thank you. It's been a rough couple of days since I realized.
Also, before we get into anything, do you see these little emoji things on
Now I
in the
do.
corner of our video boxes here on
Yeah,
Discord?
chilling.
Yeah, what is that? How do I change that? Why is it there?
Like it's your status, I think. I noticed yours said chilling, and I didn't realize I also had a chilling.
Do I have to
Like,
change?
um,
No, that just keeps making me
oh,
bigger.
mouse over your name on the like the on air channel.
Hold on a second. No. What am I looking at?
Look, mine's gone. Mouse over
Oh, activity status.
yeah, see the little
Watching stuff,
the circle with the line
wandering
through it.
IRL, grubbing, gaming, in the zone, gonna BRB, set
You can also.
custom activity. I guess we're in the zone.
Ooh, what are you doing? I'm gonna go podcasting.
Ooh, I should do that. Hold on.
You got to choose an emoji to go with it.
Oh, you can make a custom.
Uh-huh. So I'm gonna go
Podcast.
with. Look at mine.
Oh my god, I love it. What am I gonna go with?
This must be a new
Oh,
thing.
it does say beta,
Oh, okay.
so I guess I'll
I
do
just
the same.
yeah, just
Hell
podcasting.
yeah, that's kind of
You know,
fun.
microphones. It's so cute.
All right.
So I guess the idea being, if somebody hops on the this Discord server, like they'll see, oh, you're in the middle of a podcast, so
Oh
any
yeah,
message.
well, I mean, this channel is technically inaccessible for everyone, but that's still kind of nice.
Well, yeah, but it like lets them know like you're not going to be answering messages or something,
Yeah. Point taken.
which makes
So the first thing I have for us to talk about is from a TikTok, which I'm not bothering to send because it's kind of unnecessary, but I'll link it to credit my source because I think if we play TikTok's audios, we will get copyright claimed, and I don't feel like dealing with that.
possible.
But the question posed by this TikTok is very simple. It's, would you rather be stuck in an elevator for an hour with a Disney straight TM or a theater gay TM?
I think we both know this isn't really a question for
It's
us,
not. This is an
but
incredibly easy answer.
yes, but I still think we can kind of pick apart things, and
Yes.
and try to think pros and cons.
Because the answer for me is absolutely a theater gay.
I mean, this it's not a real question.
Yeah, it's not a real question for me because I have nothing to relate to with the Disney straight. I can find a lot of common ground with the theater gay.
Yes. I am going to try not to alienate people, but
That's nice of you.
mm, adults who like Disney, I don't understand, which like I like an occasional Disney film. I like me watching an occasional animated movie,
See,
like
that's
that.
my thing. I feel like there's a difference between people who enjoyed them as kids, perhaps continue to enjoy a couple new releases,
Yeah,
and the Disney adult TM.
yeah, yeah. We watched Moana that one time.
Yeah, as specifically the Disney straight.
Yes. Um, but yeah, I mean, so like I enjoy watching it. I feel nostalgic about it.
Oh yeah.
If somebody was like, "Hey, you want to go to Disney World? I'll pay for you to go." I wouldn't mind going, but I'm not gonna like go out of my way to go.
No, I'm not gonna. Here's the thing. One of the minor, unimportant, don't really care if it happens, would be nice if it did things on my bucket list. I would like to go to Epcot. I've never done that.
Yeah, I mean, I've technically been there, but it was so briefly, I didn't get to really see much. So,
Yeah,
like,
it's
yeah, I wouldn't
like
mind going.
that sounds kind of fun, is
Yeah,
essentially how I feel about it, and that's like the extent of my
yeah,
participation in anything along
yeah,
those lines, other than, again, just the occasional current release that's. Because they fucking own everything.
yeah.
So.
Although, like, if I had the money and I was going to take a vacation, I wouldn't spend it on Disney World. That would be way down on my list. I would go to like Vegas or New
Yeah, I would go to
Orleans.
a lot of other places first.
It's like way down on the list.
Yeah,
That,
absolutely.
that, that being said, there's a difference between potentially intrigued by the idea of going to Disney World and occasionally watching a Disney movie and wearing Disney themed clothing and collecting Disney themed things and going to Disney World every year and getting Disney tattoos.
And here's the thing, I clearly have no fucking grounds to be shaming anybody for what their hyperfixation is. Ghost.
Yeah,
Ghost. Ghost.
yeah,
Ghost inked on me forever. Like, just in the background of my, like, in the background in my office here. Let's see, how many things can I see? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think that's it. At least 7 ghost things. So, like, I am not here to truly shame anybody for their hyperfixation or the thing that they like. This is one of those things where I just don't get it. And I know that there are so many people who would look at me and be like, yeah, okay, I guess that Mariana Cross song is kind of catchy, but other than that, I don't get it. And sure, sometimes that's just how it be.
yeah. That's all I'm saying is like I'm not trying to throw shade at him or anything. I'm just saying I simply do not understand it.
Yeah, no, I
And that's
simply
not
don't
even
get it.
and I try to think about why. It's like, oh, because it's kid stuff. Like, no, I watch anime.
Yeah,
It's
no.
it was entirely high school kids, like, and
Yeah, I
you
do
know,
tons of fucking kid stuff.
yeah. So that's not it. I don't know what it is. And if I'm gonna be honest, it makes me like slightly uncomfortable when there's somebody, an adult, who's like really into Disney, and I don't know why.
I do kind of feel the same. And I do want to interrogate that part of it. Oh, wait, another thing. 8, my fucking ghost mouse pad. But, yeah, I should perhaps examine the part of myself that's like, this feels weird. Or, like, is
Yeah,
weirded out by that. Because I will share that that's a part of myself that I'm not necessarily the proudest of.
yeah, yeah. No, I don't feel good about it. Like I said, I don't want to
Yeah, I'm
alienate
like,
people.
why am I doing this? Why is my initial reaction to this to be so judgy?
Yeah, I mean, I think the stuff like media wise, a lot of the stuff that I am like into, not just like occasionally watch, but I'm like into, even though it might be like for kids, it's not like super pure and innocent. Like oftentimes when I'm watching anime that's supposed to be for kids, I'm like, oh my God, this stuff is messed up. How is this for kids?
See, I think
You
part of
know?
it is the fact that I find, like, Disney owns my childhood. That is simply a fucking statement of fact.
Yeah.
Like, so many Disney animated movies. Oh my god, I love them all so much. Fucking Lilo and Stitch, The Little Mermaid. Absolutely love so many Disney movies. But, and like, I went to Disney a couple times as a kid, and I had a fucking blast. I was a child at Disney.
Yeah.
Um, but something about knowing what I know now, and maybe this is why I like am it seems a little quote unquote hypocritical that I have such, I don't even know if I necessarily want to call it brand loyalty, but like the way I will like Ghost could fucking sell me anything. But Disney, like, being this very having become this incredibly sinister like media conglomerate, at least that's how I feel about it. Like, Ghost isn't buying up every other metal band and putting them under their label.
Yeah.
So it's the corporation worship
So more the
that I
company,
find myself a little uncomfortable with.
so more the company than the actual content.
I mean, I personally find so much of the recent content to be just so incredibly mediocre when it shouldn't be. Like, if you have that much fucking money at your fingertips, and nobody should, but if you do, the fact that like they're releasing that fucking movie they released for like the 100th anniversary of Disney, it was that Wish that flopped. Like,
Yeah.
if you have that much money, you should never ever be in a creative rut because you can seek out any talent that is out there and they can name their price and you can pay it. So you have no excuse to be putting out this fucking, in my opinion, slop. Same thing with Marvel. Which Disney fucking owns. Like, you have no excuse to be putting out anything less than total perfection if you have that amount of resources at your disposal. So that's what I think it is. It's the corporation worship continuing in the face of the fact that, like, so much of this isn't good.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is that it feels so very corporate too, like they're buying into something.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Like, it feels almost dystopian in
Yeah.
a way.
Yes,
Like,
it does. When I look at the fucking Disney Plus symbol, it's so ominous. When it's just like Disney with like all of these other brands underneath it. Why does the Mickey Mouse guy own National Geographic?
mhm. Marvel, Lucasfilm, Pixar. I mean, Pixar was their biggest competitor. That was what was kind of fun in the 90s. Was
Yeah.
they would make competing movies and then they're like, never mind, we just bought them.
Yeah, no.
Pixar was like the cutting edge
It's
animation
the
studio.
acquisition of everything. And frankly, if Ghost started buying up every other metal band that I like, I'd start to feel fucking weird about it.
Yeah. But I think there's a difference too in that at least Ghost has like a face on it. You know,
Yeah.
like because when things are done, you can like think like, Tobias is, making these choices. Whereas with like Disney,
Mm-hmm.
it's a big faceless conglomerate, and like, yeah, they have a CEO, but who pays attention to that? And
Yeah, no.
it's so big, they're probably not making a lot of the decisions.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's
Yeah.
that. So if Ghost started buying up bands or whatever, like you would know who to look at.
I
You
would
would know.
know who to look at, and I think again that's another reason why I find myself so much more comfortable with essentially like yeah I am fucking worshiping this band, like I'm doing essentially the same thing, but like it does feel more human. And if I'm being a huge fucking hypocrite, like I am willing to hear another perspective.
Again, I don't think it's the hyperfixating. I think it's the object of the
It's the
hyperfixation.
corporateness of Disney that I am so put off by, which
Yeah.
is why, despite the fact that, like, Broadway as an institution definitely has its problems, um, I would find so much more common ground with a theater gay, even if, like, this was perhaps a theater gay who I had very conflicting opinions with about specific musicals.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, obviously the theater gay is going to be the more fun choice,
For me,
you know?
absolutely.
Yeah, especially because I've never met a theater gay who didn't also like not just liked the theater but wanted to be in the theater. So maybe they
Mm-hmm.
could do a little performance for you.
That would be entertaining. So yeah, I would 100% rather be stuck in an elevator with a theater gay. We would at least have something to talk about.
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds a lot more fun. The only thing I could think is that it could maybe be more irritating if they really wanted to like be chatty and talk about theater versus the Disney adult might just, you know, sit there quietly. I don't know.
I mean,
It's the only
if
thing I can think
I'm
of.
my thing is though, if I'm stuck in an elevator, I'm going to make conversation if there's nothing else going on.
By the way, a completely random story from
Oh, do
Galactic
tell.
Inclusion Convention. Because I was just thinking about Broadway. Of course, I all I can think is that Broadway and I are fighting the
Mm.
entire concept of Broadway because of Spamalot closing. Um, but there, when I was at the DNI Con like a week and a half ago, the panel room that I was sort of monitoring was entirely empty, except this one older guy kind of walks in and starts talking to me and just hands me a piece of paper that's like printed front and back, and he's like, I want you to read this and then let me know your thoughts. Completely random. I have no idea who this person is.
Love it.
But it was this long argument as to why he thinks the holodeck technology from Star Trek could be used to bring Broadway shows to the masses.
He's so right.
Where he's like, yeah, you record the holodeck program, of the musical, and then you can have people come into your essentially local holodeck and then watch it and interact with it.
I'm so here for that.
I mean, technically that's true of nearly anything. That's the whole point. Things you can't experience personally, you can experience holographically, really.
Yeah. I'm so here for that.
But I was like, man, that would have been nice. I could have, seen Spam a lot before they closed, like even afterward, because it would have been recording essentially.
Hey, listen, wherever the tour hits, it's on me. I am keeping that promise.
But I thought that was just a very odd,
Yeah.
random. Apparently, he was just going around the whole weekend, just handing people, asking them to read it, and then talking about it.
Conventions are so fun because it's so much neurodivergence concentrated in one place.
Yeah, and it's like I can't say I disagree with you, my dude. The thing is, well, we don't have the holodeck technology. It's from a
Yeah,
side.
and like here's the thing, that's really unfortunate. I'm fully on your side here, my dude.
It is, yeah. It's like I agree with you, and yet it's a moot point.
Yeah, essentially. And actually, speaking of conventions, I chose this next discussion point because we're going to a convention and all of these types of people will be concentrated in one place. I want to talk about what the difference is between geeks, nerds, dorks, and dweebs. Hmm?
I feel like there are differences.
Oh, 100%. Okay. So, like, a nerd, like, it's media based.
Okay.
Like, when I hear nerd, I think person who is into, like, comics, video games, that type
Yeah.
of shit. When I hear geek, I think, like, the one guy that understands, like, calculus.
Yeah. Whatever their thing there is, they're really into.
Hmm. Yeah, like, geek is academic. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Um, dork and dweeb, it gets a little muddier.
I think dweeb's just a general purpose, like I can't think of a way to put it without using one of those words.
Yeah.
But like somebody who is bookish and uncool.
Yeah, okay.
I always think about Poindexter from Revenge of the Nerds, even though that the word nerd is on that.
Yeah.
But see, Revenge of the Nerds, that's not media based. Their nerddom is just academic.
See, I would call them geeks then.
But it's Revenge of the Nerds.
I mean, they're all technically
Literally.
interchangeable, but I feel as though there is a vibe to each.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think geek is necessarily academic because I could see people like that I would refer to as geeks about like a specific thing that's not necessarily academic. Like I would refer
I
to like
suppose.
the 3D printing geeks who just know all these little details and stuff, I wouldn't necessarily call that academic per se, but it's
And
very
here's the thing,
special.
I could also see you say 3D printing nerd. They truly are so interchangeable. It's.
But not dork.
No,
I mean,
that's like an affectionate insult. Or at least that's how I use it.
I was gonna say the opposite. Like, well, I mean, I feel like it's more negative than the others.
I mean, a little bit, but I will, like, I often refer to characters that I like as, like, "Ugh,
Yeah.
I'm so obsessed with this dork."
Yeah. Well, I mean, somebody might say something like a friend, and I'll be like, "You're such a dork," and it's like
Yeah.
it's cool or whatever. But like when I refer to somebody as a nerd or a geek, it's like a genuine like compliment.
Yeah.
Yes,
And
in
I
a
mean,
way.
not that I'm in the habit of genuinely insulting people very
Yeah.
often in my day-to-day life. I try to save that for those very deserving of it. I suppose dork does have a slightly more a little more of a flavor of an insult when used, like if you really like mean it, I guess. Not just like, "Oh my god, I'm so obsessed with this dork."
I mean, if you were doing a thing, like a really specific thing that might be considered in the realm of like dork, nerd, whatever.
Mhm.
If I said like, "Wow, you're a dork," that's kind of saying like, "I don't quite get it. It's a little weird to
Yeah,
me."
that is a little bit of a no, you're right. That is a little bit of an
Like if I
insult.
say, "Oh, nerd," that's me being like, "This is a
Yeah.
very nerdy thing, but I
Yeah.
support it."
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, I don't think anybody really uses the word dweeb very often, but
No, again, I only ever see that being used on Twitter as, again, like when you're looking to affectionately insult whatever individual, or like that's how I see it used. And maybe that's just a sort of fandom Twitter thing. But again, like people talk about like talking about like the ghost chapters, for example, where as opposed to the sort of like stage persona that is Papa Emeritus the Fourth, like, oh, so cool, up on stage, he acts like a fucking idiot in like the webisodes, and everyone's like, look at this dweeb, but like, we love him.
yeah,
So
maybe
yeah, I
it's
feel like
something.
that one, there's so much, I see that one used so much less actually like seriously. It's only ever as a
No.
joke, or at least that's what I see.
See, that's interesting because like I feel like with each of these words, if you asked me to like imagine an example of them, I do imagine different kinds of people.
Yes, you're so right. I do.
Yeah. Like I'm picturing like a geek versus a nerd because I think those are the two closest.
Hmm.
And they still do produce different people.
Yeah, you're so right. Huh.
Which, yeah, it's
Fascinating.
wild. If I were to try to explain the difference between the people, though, it would be difficult.
I would like I need an artist rendition, but I would have to
Mhm.
work on my drawing skills a lot in
Yeah.
order to achieve that.
Yeah. Yeah, it
I
definitely,
wow.
yeah.
Interesting. It some of it does feel very vibe based though.
Yeah, and that's the problem. There's no,
You can't quantify a vibe necessarily, or it's incredibly difficult to quantify a vibe.
do you know what I'm doing now?
Trying to quantify a vibe?
No.
Are you just gonna Google each one and see what
The
comes up?
definition
Like,
of the word nerd.
oh, okay, yeah, that'll work.
Because I was about to say, it's not like there's an actual definition. I'm like, wait, there are definitions.
Yeah, there's literally a dictionary. That's what it's for.
Okay. So, nerd, a person who is extremely enthusiastic and knowledgeable about a particular subject, especially one of specialist or niche interest.
Okay, that tracks.
Okay. So let me put in geek. It's literally the exact same definition.
Okay, so we might just be going in circles. Okay, what about dork and dweeb?
You better give me a different definition, Google. Did it? What? Okay, Merriam-Webster, what you got for me? A dork. An odd, socially awkward, unstylish person.
Okay.
Which I feel like kind of fits with the way that you use dork about like characters and stuff sometimes because I feel like they're often being socially awkward or.
Yeah.
Oh, Merriam-Webster's coming for geeks.
Ooh.
Okay, so instead of relying on Google, I'm just going to use the Merriam-Webster website
I mean,
because they
those
do
are
have
the
different.
dictionary people. That feels a little more legit than Google to me.
Yes, they do because they do have different definitions for geek and nerd.
Okay, we're getting somewhere.
All right, so starting back at the beginning with nerd, a person devoted to intellectual, academic, or technical pursuits or interests.
Okay.
Also, a person preoccupied with or devoted to a particular activity or field of interest. So that makes sense. So then geek, this is what made me laugh. A person often of an intellectual bent who is disliked.
Wow.
That's what I said. Merriam-Webster coming for geeks.
That's a little harsh, but okay.
The secondary definition is an enthusiast or expert, especially in a technological field or activity. So when I was thinking about 3D printing, like that's sort of a
Yeah,
technical
yeah,
area,
okay.
I guess is computer geek.
That's the thing. When I hear the word geek, my brain does conjure up a guy who can fix my computer.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's kind of technically based maybe in a way.
Yeah.
I I do enjoy the third definition because there's a different way this word can be used. A carnival performer.
Oh,
Often,
yeah.
yeah,
Have you ever seen
often
Nightmare? Have you ever seen or read Nightmare Alley?
no, it's on my list.
Highly recommend.
Yeah, that's a carnival performer often billed as a wild man, whose act usually includes biting the head off a live chicken or snake.
Mm?
But that's like actually part of the dictionary definition, which is wild to me. All right, so I think I already read their dork definition, right?
Yes.
Yeah, odd, socially awkward, unstylish person.
But what do we got for dweeb, if that is in fact in the dictionary, which I didn't even consider until just now? I would
An,
assume it is.
yeah, an unattractive, insignificant, or inept person.
That's a little. That's even harsher than the other one. Are there any further definitions, or do they just roast you and leave it at that?
Yep, no, that's it. Recent examples on the web.
I mean, I guess
Okay.
that's something, I suppose.
Origin unknown. First meeting, first use was in 1964,
Okay.
which that tracks. It feels like a very 60s word.
Yeah, I guess so.
Wow. Don't click on synonyms of dweeb. It's real sad.
Oh no. All right. Well,
Oh, idiot, moron, brat, dolt, dork, imbecile, nuisance, blockhead,
some of
stupid,
these feel worse than others.
kaboot, nitwit.
All right. Well,
Miscreant.
now.
I do like.
eh. So,
So
I don't really know if we've come to any like concrete conclusions here, but
yeah.
there's some
So,
thoughts.
so based on Merriam-Webster, a nerd is somebody who's just like really passionate about a particular thing. A
Yes.
geek is somebody who's also passionate about a particular thing, but it tends to be tech.
Okay.
A dork is somebody who is just unstylish and uncool.
Yes.
And a dweeb is outright unattractive and insignificant.
Yeah. Okay. So like, dweeb is like a straight up loser.
Yeah,
Okay.
those are the differences according to Merriam-Webster, the dictionary people.
All right. Sure. I'm not gonna argue with them.
I'm on board with the first three. I don't know about the dweeb.
Yeah, I don't know about that either, but I mean, good enough, I guess.
Sure.
Final thing I have was supplied to me by Kyle the other night. Would you rather be able to speak and understand every language perfectly or communicate with all species of animals on the planet?
So my immediate thought was the animals.
Here's the thing. Yes, but I feel like I actually genuinely would get more use out of being able to speak every language because as much as I would like to talk to my idiot son,
Yeah.
what do I care what a snail is thinking?
Well, and that's why I started to say my initial thought was, and then I was like, man, what could the majority of animals have to say?
Yeah, like, not a shit ton. There's some of them where I would be very interested in what they have to say, but the number of animals where I actually care about their thoughts,
Mhm.
if they can even have, like, quote unquote thoughts, because I don't really think an ant has anything we would recognize as, like, a thought, TM. I
Noodles don't
think
have.
I would get much more mileage out of being able to speak and understand whatever language I please in any given moment.
See, I can see that on like a day-to-day basis, just in your general life, but here's the thing. Every language that's still spoken is understood by at least somebody. And so it can always be translated or, you can always learn a language. There is nobody who can like really communicate with a dolphin.
You are right.
So,
But
whereas I
also,
think,
when am I gonna encounter a dolphin?
well, that's what I'm saying. So the languages make sense if we're talking about like an average person's day-to-day life, but just in terms of like learning things and uncovering stuff about the world, like if I suddenly had the ability to speak to all animals, I'm quitting my job. I would,
Oh
you
yeah,
know,
I would go
I'm
on a
leaving.
fun little adventure if that was an ability that I did possess. But if I'm thinking about what I'm actually going to get more use out of in the life that I'm currently living, it's the language thing. Even just like I have some fan fictions bookmarked that are in Spanish and I'm not up to that level yet, but I can understand the description and I'm like I know that this is a story that I'm going to like. Even just for that, that'd be great.
And no, I would just change my entire life to build around it. Here's a question though. If you
Yes.
did go the communicating with animals route, would you like tell the world or would you try to keep it under wraps?
I think I would keep that to myself because I don't need the United States military to be like, actually, you need to like communicate with these fucking, I don't know, attack dolphins for us. I don't want to be involved in whatever bullshit is going on.
And they might just like dismiss you as being crazy and so they wouldn't actually bother you.
They
But
might not, but if they found some way to figure out if I was legit or not, I don't want to have to deal with that.
well, you just got to make yourself like as publicly visible as possible. Like blitz the media so everybody in the world knows before the military has a chance to find out. And then people are going to notice if you disappear.
You do have a point.
Because that was my first thought is like, yeah, if I just kind of tell the world and I essentially get to lend my services
Mm-hmm.
to researchers, zoologists, like people all around the world, like what a cool ass life that would be.
That would be pretty sick.
Yeah. And I imagine like because it's a unique skill, nobody else has that skill. They would pay so much money.
Yeah, I think you could expect to be compensated quite fairly.
Yeah. So not only getting to travel to help people, but then you would have money to also travel other places and places where you don't speak the language, but you know,
Yeah, yeah, okay.
I think that would be a cool ass life.
I would agree. But
Or I would
I
get really
think
tired listening to the cats.
that's the thing.
Treats, treats,
Yeah,
treats.
I don't know if I want to hear that for the rest of my life. Like, I would die for my son, but I don't know if I need to hear him thinking, lick, 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 lick.
Dirty banana.
Yeah, for 30 minutes straight while I try to watch a movie.
But would he necessarily be
He already
communicating?
cleans his beans loud enough.
He is a loud cleaner.
Or not even that he would be thinking lick every single
Rookie
time, but I
boy.
don't need to hear him thinking just like, I'm dirty.
Well, the question wasn't like that you can hear them think, right? It was that you can communicate with them.
But does that not mean that they can communicate back? Because communicate
Well,
implies that it's a two-way street.
well, yeah, but I'm saying like, when we communicate, you're not hearing my every thought. You're only hearing what I choose to express.
You're
So just
right, but you've met my boy. He's fucking loud. I think if he
yeah,
could constantly be talking to me, he would.
I mean, but he doesn't talk when he's licking himself. He'll yell at you like in the kitchen if he wants treats, and then you
Yeah.
would understand him going, treats, treats, give me treats, mom, give me treats.
Yeah, and I don't know if I want to hear that every time I'm trying to make a fucking quesadilla for the rest of my life. If I could have like an hour to talk to him, that'd be great.
Oh God, no, I can't even imagine.
But that's all I need. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't imagine like animals that don't really make sounds
Hmm.
wouldn't really be able to communicate then. Like I was just thinking about the noodles because they can hiss, I guess,
Yeah,
but
I
they don't really
suppose
have a
not.
you know. So you wouldn't really be able to communicate with every animal.
And I don't really think she has enough thoughts.
Yeah, no, there's
Like
nothing
again,
happening.
love her, but the lights are on and no one is home.
Nope. When I brought Harley to campus a couple weeks ago,
Aw, did anyone comment on his visible stupidity?
no, no. But I'm so used to just constantly talking about how stupid he is that of course I was making all my little jokes about how dumb he is now. Me?
It's like that's your son. It's
Like,
like
no.
you don't understand.
It is entirely said with affection.
It
I love this tiny orange idiot.
terminally dumb.
Yeah, no, there's nothing happening up there. Uh, he, will just freeze and he'll be buffering, and when he re-engages his single brain cell, because that's when the tongue starts blah blah blah.
Yep.
They were very surprised. Dumb was a lot.
I feel as though the ingrained cultural, I suppose, memory or like archetype of like, Lucifer, the snake, cunning, but then you actually encounter a snake and they're the dumbest fucking things.
Really get the
Yeah, I
cunning.
don't get it either. Um, but yeah, I think if I have to pick one of these right now, I'm gonna go with the languages thing.
Yeah, I suppose I have two answers. Like realistically, if this were actually presented to me, I'd probably choose the language. But in my mind, I would like to choose the animals because I could imagine. But I don't want to upend my whole life. Not
Yeah, that's the
really.
thing. I don't want to do that either.
But it seems cool, and it seems cooler than the languages to me. Just sounds like a lot of effort that I don't want to put in.
Yeah, essentially.
I'm tired.
All right. Well, I think that is going to bring us to the weekly worsening.
That's the face of I am a lot worse.
It is the face of I am a lot worse. I one, I finished my Violence Fiend mask, and I'm really proud of it.
Well, I should hope so. You're gonna need it soon.
I made that. I fucking made that
Nice.
with my own two fucking hands. God, I'm so happy with this. So, I am feeling again maybe some unearned confidence, or maybe feeling a little extra excessively prideful, because holy shit, I'm so happy with how this turned out, and I can't wait to wear it. But the other thing is that I'm going to be worse. I'm going to be a lot worse because you know that I'm back on my fucking bullshit with Fallout in the worst way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be walking into a convention sales floor with a fresh hyperfixation that has a well-established merch presence already. Because I've seen Fallout things
Yeah.
at Saratoga Comic Con many a time, but now the demons in my head want them.
Yeah. We're in the same boat.
Yeah, I know. That's what's gonna happen with you in Pokemon now.
It's gonna be a problem.
But yeah, the parasites. So that's what's going on with me.
I thought you were going to say something about the Ghost movie, which I noticed in the doc or whatever that you put in there as Ghovie.
Yeah, the Goofy.
That was going to be my question. How are we pronouncing that?
Like
Because it looks
movie,
like
but
Ghost.
again, you
It looks
just
like Ghost.
you just slap the GH in front of anything that you want to make ghost.
Like Ghost.
But yeah. And also that's making me worse too, like
Yeah, that's
but
what
I
I
kind of but I did lead with that.
yeah.
But yeah, oh my god, that's I'll probably cry. It'll be great. It'll be super fun.
By the way, I did look into playing Fallout, but I don't have the required equipment for it because I only have my laptop.
Oh
I
shit, dog.
don't have
That
Xbox
sucks.
because I think that's it, right? Steam or Xbox, essentially.
Hold on.
But I looked at it.
No, I know.
Tried.
I'm just
I'm a desktop computer kind of person. I've never owned one, unless you count my, one my parents have when I was growing up.
yeah, okay. Well, I guess not. In that case, you should get a desktop.
But it has to be like a significant, like, speedy desktop, right?
I mean, when I was in college, I had a laptop that was capable of running Fallout 4.
Well, this one would not be, because it's been giving me issues opening Discord. It's been
Yeah.
4 years. Like, I know that's kind of older, but it's not like ancient. I don't know why it's being this way.
I mean,
So
if you are going to be replacing that laptop anyway, which kind of sounds like is a possibility, um yeah, just get a slightly more powerful one. I had a laptop that was capable of running Fallout for when I was a senior in high school.
like 2019. Nope. Hold on. 2015, 16?
Mm.
Look at me trying to do basic math.
So, there's my suggestion to you because you absolutely should play Fallout 4. I love that game with my whole heart.
That's when I lived in. Nope. When did I move here? Nope, I
I don't
lived
know,
here.
when did you move here?
All 2015. The year
Cool.
you started senior year of high school.
Whack.
I was here.
But yeah, you should do that.
I looked. Trying to be, supportive.
Hell yes. Yeah, so that's how I'm worse this week and how I'm going to be worse.
Okay.
And then when we come back, I'll just share all of the things from the convention that made me worse.
Mm-hmm.
Which is probably just going to be me showing off a lot of merch.
Yeah. No, man.
Exciting times all around. What about you, bestie?
So.
Whenever you do this, whenever you start a worsening like that, or when I ask, what about you, and I'm just met with, like, silence and that expression,
Like.
what have you done?
I feel like I should be ashamed. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know if it's like. What's the word I'm looking for? Taboo in the Pokemon community or not, but anyway, I started trading Pokemon with a bot.
Oh, mm.
Is that not an acceptable thing? I don't know.
I have absolutely no idea. You would have to ask Kyle. He knows much more about the current Pokemon community than I do.
Yeah, I mean, I know nothing about it, and but the thing is, like, there are certain Pokemon that are like exclusive to Scarlet, or like, there's the 3 starter Pokemon that you can't get any way other than using them as your starter. And it's like, how am I supposed to get these things? I want to finish my Pokédex.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was looking it up and, trying to find ideas of like, oh, maybe somebody can breed theirs and trade with me or whatever. And I came across this whole notion of trading bots. There is a Discord that I am now part of where you go to their website and you can customize every single detail of it, including making it shiny. Like every single tiny thing.
See that? The making
Is
it shiny might piss off the shiny hunters.
well, it's not like I'm, gonna be claiming I found them. It's
Yeah.
just it's more just like a little fun thing.
Mm.
Um, but I'm not using it for anything that I can actually find in the game. Like if it exists in
Yeah.
the game, I can find it myself, that sort of thing. But anything that I know that there's no way I can get otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
I did also buy Pokemon Scarlet, so
Whatever, man.
I haven't even opened it yet. But yeah, so man, is it making me feel like such a dork sitting there, like, because you input everything. You can pick the gender, you can like put in the like various EVs, you can put in like all the things.
I love it.
Yeah, all the moves you want, the items that it holds, its abilities, everything. Its nature. And then you just copy the text it generates for you, paste it into the Discord chat, and they give you a link code and you go and give them whatever for it.
Wow.
And I can't believe this is an actual thing that you can do and that it's free.
What a time to be alive.
Yeah, I just, for funsies, um, I did make shiny versions of Leafeon and Umbreon.
That's kind
and
of
a
fun.
few my and again, they're all ones I already had, and they were already maxed out to level 100 because you can pick the level to it. It defaults to 100.
Jesus.
Yeah, yeah. So mine were already like I don't pick any levels higher than what I currently have. And if it's a Pokemon that levels up, I keep it below the level where it levels up so I can level it up myself and evolve it.
I mean, this strikes me as fair enough.
Yeah, it's probably just the shiny part that might be
Yeah.
problematic, but they're fun to look at. It's not like I'm trying to be like, oh, I found these things, look at me. It's just like, oh no, I like to look at them.
Yeah.
My Umbreon has blue instead of yellow. That's fun.
Aw. I mean, I'm certainly not judging you.
Yeah. So I don't know if it's like a taboo thing, but like, yeah, me just sitting there doing so much Googling of the various Pokemon that I haven't found yet and figuring out if I'm able to find them, and if not, oh, then I can
Nice.
go and do this online trade. And of course, that means I had to sign up for Nintendo Online, which I haven't done now. And
Interesting.
yeah,
Well, that
I'm
means if
also
you ever start Animal Crossing, we can visit each other's islands if you have Nintendo Online.
ah yeah, who knows? Maybe someday. I still have so many games that I bought and haven't even played yet. And don't think I even mentioned that a couple months ago I bought a Demon Slayer video game.
No, you did not, but good for you.
Yeah, I haven't even played it. I took the plastic off and that's it.
Something.
I got several games like that, including a Star Trek Prodigy one, and yeah. So
Fun times all around.
yeah, I'm really rounding out the old Pokédex. I think I got like fewer than 40 that I still need to finish it.
I'm
And then
very impressed.
I'll start on Scarlet and
You and Kyle are going to have so much to talk about on Saturday.
yeah, I've gotten real dorky with it, and
As you should, as is your right.
I just used the word dork. And yeah, so I was really hoping to like have a favorite Pokemon before the weekend. I don't know that I do. There's too many that I like.
Well, that just means you have a broad. There's lots of things you can look for. If you can't find one, there'll certainly be another.
That's true. Although they don't make plushies of Sinistcha, which is the one I really want.
Oh my
The
god, I
one,
love Sinistcha.
the little matcha bowl.
So cute.
Because I did made a masterpiece one. I evolved a masterpiece one. It took forever to
Aww.
find uh one of the ones that was like what do you call it, artisanal rather than counterfeit to
Yeah,
evolve.
Kyle told me all about that.
I caught so many of them.
I
Oh
love it.
my. Yeah, so as you can see, I'm worse. Plus
I love it.
I started watching Sword Art Online.
Have
Been
fun
meaning
with
to get
that.
on. Yeah. It tried to trick me and like, oh, it's like an adventure one. It's a romance. They're not kidding me. I'm not fooled.
I mean, are you complaining though?
A little bit, but I'm not gonna get into it. There's just have you seen it?
No.
Oh, for some reason I thought you had.
Mm-mm.
There's this whole weird storyline where like this girl is like crushing on her older brother. Although technically he's her cousin, but she didn't know that until like a year before. They were raised as siblings. It's a whole thing, and it makes me very uncomfortable.
Anime is very weird sometimes.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Noted. Um, I just realized, what cosplay are you wearing on Saturday? I just realized I have no idea.
We have something in common.
Oh, fun.
No, I actually have been trying to work on something that I thought would be pretty quick to do. I don't know that I'm gonna finish it in time because like 2 days from now I'll be there
Mm-hmm.
in like 48 hours.
Yeah,
So, and I gotta like work all day tomorrow and stuff.
that is the bitch of it.
So I'm gonna try to see if I can squeeze it in, but I bought all the materials I need for it.
I'm very interested. Do I
Yeah,
get
I
to
thought,
know, what fandom?
do you want it?
I want to see if I can guess. Or I'll just guess and we'll find out if I'm right or not, whether or not you actually make it.
Yeah, I think if I told you the fandom, like you're 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 not gonna guess it because you're gonna be guessing in the wrong direction. Yeah, that won't make sense until you know what it is, but it's not like I can just say like, Demon Slayer and you start guessing characters. It's not that sort of thing. It's not a specific character.
Generic Pokemon trainer?
No, but you're not far off.
Huh. Yeah, I don't know.
You'll see. I mean, you're not super far off in that you're correct that it is Pokemon related.
Oh shit. Um, Team Rocket member.
Mm-mm.
Fuck.
Even, dare I say, more generic.
Oh, like one of the NPCs?
Yeah, sort of.
Gym
Oh,
leader.
actually, now that I think about it, I wouldn't even call them a character.
Is it just like cuz like you know how it'll be like biker X challenge you to a battle. Is it that type of shit? Fuck.
So dumb.
Is it like an anthropomorphized Pokemon?
No,
Hmm.
it's human.
Huh?
It's human. Just straight up human, not
Oh, like a Pokemon professor. Fuck. This is driving me crazy, and I know I'm probably not going to get it.
I mean, I can tell you, or you can wait and see.
Sure, fuck it. Why not? Tell me.
Pokestop employee.
Oh, that's so
The
cute.
full hat and the apron.
I love that. I
Yeah.
absolutely love that conceptually, and even if you don't do it for this coming convention, you should absolutely do that.
Yeah, unfortunately, the idea only came to me last weekend. I was just gonna reuse a costume.
Mm,
So I bought like all the different colored fabrics to make the apron, like the red, the black, the white. There's like a dark gray sort of crescent on it.
yeah.
I bought a plain white hat that I gotta put red and black cloth on. And I ordered gold uh, PLA for my printer because they wear like a little name tag here.
Oh my god,
It's
I love it.
So we'll see if I can.
Well, we'll see. We
So
shall see.
likely that I'll finish it in time just because, we got the stream tomorrow and I gotta watch the movie for the stream and, all those things.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Well, it's a fantastic idea, regardless.
Yeah, I thought it was fun.
All right. As always, thank you for fighting with us, friends. We appreciate each and every single one of you, and we will be back next week with con stories. We will see you then. Adios.
This week's episode of the Fighting with Friends podcast was hosted by Bridget Kelly and Dr. Sarah Brookes. You can find other episodes of the podcast on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, or your other favorite listening platform. Follow us on Twitter at brkelly98 and at nsarahsaid. Rate and review us on your podcatcher of choice, like, comment, and subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on Twitch and Facebook, and join our Discord community using the links in the description. You can also help support us via the Acast supporter feature, or consider subscribing to our Patreon for early access to episodes and fun bonus content. Thanks for listening!